This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, what is FCFS? Okay, in this, the mode of its working is non-preemptive. Okay, it is non-preemptive in nature. When a process, which process comes earlier, will get scheduled first. Okay, so you cannot release the CPU from that process. That's why it is non-preemptive. And for criteria of its selection is arrival time. According to the arrival time, the process will be selected by the CPU. So what is arrival time? The time at which process arrives in the ready queue. That is arrival time of a process. And there is another time that is worst time, or you can say it running time. Running time and worst time are both same. The time which is required by a process for its complete execution is known as running time or worst time. So now we have seen example of FCFS. Okay, हम एक बार फिर से देखेंगे उस पिछली क्लास में थोड़ी सी मिस्टेक थी यहाँ पर. You will see this now. For calculating waiting time and turnaround time and every other criteria, you must draw a Gantt chart first. Okay, so this is a Gantt chart here and here. Since this is FCFS, so the process which has arrived first will be allocated CPU first. Now see here, arrival time of all the processes 0. Okay, so all the processes has been arrived at the same time. In this case, the tie is broken. Just a second. In this case, to break the tie, the process with lower ID will be executed first. Okay, so see here, 4 processes P0, P1, P2, and P3. These are the IDs. 0 is the lowest ID, so it will get scheduled first. Okay, so see in this Gantt chart now, P0 will be scheduled first. And what is the running time for this? 20. So it will completely finish because this is non-preemptive in nature. Okay, no other process can release the CPU from this process now. Okay, so P0 will run after this. Next lowest ID is P1. Okay, so this will run now. Okay, so, and its running unit is 4 units, so it will run for 4 units. Next is P2. Next is P3. Okay, so it will also run for P2 will run for 4 units and P3 will run for 7 units. So this is the Gantt chart. After making this Gantt chart, you can calculate every other information like waiting time and turnaround time. So let us say this one. Okay. What is the waiting time for process P0? See, process P0 was arrived at time 0 and it was scheduled when it was as soon as it is arrived. So it is scheduled as 0 in the Gantt chart. Okay, so waiting time for this process is 0. Okay, see here, this is 0. Now next process P1 was also arrived at 0 time, but it scheduled at 20. So waiting time for this is 20 minus 0, that is 20. Okay, it has waited for 20 units until till the process P0 was executing. So waiting time for this is 20. Then waiting time for P2 is what? 24. It arrived at 0 and scheduled at 24. Similarly, P3 process was arrived at 0 and it scheduled as 28. Okay, so these are the total waiting time for every process, and this sum is equal to 72. Okay, and to find average waiting time, you divide total waiting time with number of processes. So you have calculated here 72 divided by 4. There are 4 number of processes, and this is the 18. So average waiting time for each process 18 units. Okay, and this is the simple method through Gantt chart with, for calculating waiting time. Now we have I have also told you another method with the help of a table. Okay, we will see this also. Okay, but there are some another criteria like completion time, turnaround time, and response time, which we also calculate through this table now. Okay, you can also calculate these terms with the help of Gantt chart. Okay, but it is easy to calculate all the things easily when you draw the table. Okay, we will see now what is TAT. Turnaround time was the time from the submission to till it is completed. Okay, so it should be equal to completion time minus arrival time. Okay, process कब आपकी complete हुई, ठीक है, और कब आपकी अराइव हुई थी. अगर आप इस टाइम को सब्ट्रैक्ट करेंगे तो आपके पास क्या आएगा? टर्न अराउंड टाइम. You can also say TAT is equal to was time plus waiting time. Okay, can we say this or not? Can TAT be will be equal to burst time or plus waiting time or not? Is this right? बताओ, ये हो सकता है या नहीं? TAT एक तो है कंप्लीशन टाइम माइनस अराइवल टाइम, ये तो समझ आ गया इजीली है ना. कंप्लीट कब हुई और कब अराइव हुई थी. टर्न अराउंड टाइम यही है, द टोटल टाइम फॉर ए प्रोसेस ड्यूरिंग थ्रू इट्स लाइफ टाइम. तो कंप्लीट होने से पहले और अराइव होने के बीच में जो भी टाइम होगा दैट इज टर्न अराउंड टाइम. we can also set worst time plus waiting time, because a process in the system, either it will spend time in waiting queue or either it will spend time during its execution. So during execution, what the time is worst time, and during waiting the time is waiting time. So if you sum both of these, that will be also turnaround time. Okay, तो या तो प्रोसेस वेट करेगी या प्रोसेस वहां पर एग्जीक्यूट होगी, तो इनका सम भी क्या होगा, टर्नअराउंड टाइम. सो वी कैन, दिस इज आल्सो द फार्मूला. ओके, नाउ व्हाट इज द वेटिंग टाइम? ओके, we can say it, waiting time equal to turnaround time minus worst time. Turnaround time क्या था, टोटल टाइम था किसी प्रोसेस के लिए, और वर्स्ट टाइम क्या था, जब प्रोसेस सिर्फ आपकी रन होती है आपके पास. तो अगर इसमें रनिंग टाइम को हम अगर टोटल टाइम से माइनस करेंगे तो आपके पास कौन सा टाइम बचेगा जितने वेट किया होगा. सो इट शुड बी इक्वल टू वेटिंग टाइम. ओके, एंड यू कैन आल्सो ड्राइव दिस इक्वेशन थ्रू the upper one. See here, TAT was equal to worst time plus waiting time, and if you equate this, if you send worst time to the left side, okay, then it will be equal to TAT minus first time. So waiting time is also equal to turnaround time minus worst time. You can also derive from this equation. So these are the important formulas to calculate through the table. Okay, remember these formulas. Now we will see the table. This was the table here. Okay, see here, completion time of each process will be written first. See here, completion time of P0 was 20, so I have written here 20. Completion time of P1 was 24, so it is 24. Completion time of P2 is 28. This is 28 written here, and completion time of P3 is 35, so it is also written here. Okay, now we want to calculate turnaround time, so we have a formula now here, completion time minus arrival time. So here TAT will be equal to CT minus AT. Just a second. Okay, so for process, can you mute your mic? There is disturbance. Okay. See, for process P0, turnaround time is CT minus AT. Okay, so 20 minus 0, you can write here 20. 24 minus 0, that is 24. Okay, 28 minus 0, 28. Okay, in this case, completion time and turnaround time will be same for FCFS. See here, completion time column and TAT, these are same. So these are both same for FCFS. Now see WT waiting time, this will be equal to TAT minus VT. So this is TAT column and this is VT column. So now subtract these respective elements. 20 minus 20, 0. 24 minus 4, 20. 28 minus 4, 24, and 35 minus 7, 28. Okay, so in this way you can calculate all these criteria with these formulas. In exam you will apply these formulas directly. Okay, so this is FCFS. Now there are some advantages or disadvantages of FCFS. Okay, tell me what is the biggest disadvantage of FCFS?
The convoy effect.
Okay, that is convoy effect. Okay, it suffers from convoy effect when a process with large burst time comes instead of shorter burst time processes. Then these processes have to wait until the large burst process is completed. That is known as convoy effect. Okay, और इसके advantage क्या थे? There is less complexity and overhead in implementation. Okay, you just design the scheduling criteria according to their arrival time. Okay, so less complexity and overhead in implementation. It is also simple and easy to understand. This was convoy effect. This was definition. Okay, we have already discussed this. We will not go through this now. Okay, and the second disadvantage was this: average waiting time is much, and also lower CPU and device utilization. Okay, because low burst processes always remain in waiting queue. So hence CPU and device utilization is less. Okay, and its performance is very bad for time sharing systems. Okay, for that response time should be very less. Okay, in case of FCFS, response time is large. So this is FCFS. Now today we will see shortest job first. Okay, for SJF, this is also known as SJF in short. For SJF, the mode is non-preemptive and criteria is burst time. Okay, SJF also works in preemptive mode, and that mode is known as SRTF. That is shortest remaining time first. Okay, so first of all, we will see it's working in non-preemptive mode. Okay, criteria is burst time because according to the running time or burst time, the process will be scheduled. The process which will have less burst time will be scheduled first. So this is the criteria for SJF. Okay, this is the definition in SGF. The process that has least worst time will be allocated CPU first. Okay, now let us see its example. Suppose these are the processes. Okay, there are 5 number of processes in the system. And it ID 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. These are the process IDs. Now, these are the arrival time of each process. Okay, you can see this table. P0 arrived at 2 time, and P1 arrived at 5 time in the system, and P2 arrived at 1 time. Okay, they are not absolute time. They are just relative time. Okay, P3 arrived at 0 time, and P4 arrived at 4 unit of time. Okay, they are the running time of each process. P0 completely finished in 6 units. P1 takes 2 units to completely execute. P2 takes 8 units. P3 takes 3 units, and P4 takes 4 units. Okay, now we will draw the Gantt chart. Okay, so now tell me which process will get scheduled first. Okay, since this is SGF and P.
One.
Sir, P1.
P1.
No, okay. This is not right answer. Okay, because the reason is, see this table. Yes, P3 is the right answer. You have to also see the arrival time. Okay, at arrival time 0, P1 was not available. Okay, and CPU will never sit idle. So as soon as a process comes, it picks up that process. So at time 0, see, let us make a ready queue here also. Okay, this is the ready queue which is in your RAM. Here at arrival time 0, which process will arrive? P3. Okay, so CPU will pick this P3 and will start execute. So see now this Gantt chart from 0, P3 will be pick up, and now since it is not preemptive in nature, okay, so P3 will not release the CPU until it is completely finished. Okay, so what is the total running time for this is 3 units. So now P3 will run completely for 3 units. Okay, see here. Okay, is this okay now? Have you got it?
Yes, sir.
Hello. Okay. Now see after this, till time 3, 2 more processes has been arrived in the system. See P2 and P0. Their arrival time is 1 and arrival time of P0 is 2. So see here, P2 has been arrived as well as P0 has been arrived. Okay, when this process was executing, P0 and P2 will also arrive in ready queue. And at time 3, there is no process in the system. Okay, there is no process which is arriving in the system. Okay, so this is marked in red here. In this time, no process will arrive in the system. Now, CPU will take again decision according to the SGF. Now tell me which process will execute. Okay, now there is a choice among
P0.
these two. Okay, now P0 will be scheduled. Okay, because its running time is 6 here, see here, and then the running time of P2 is 8. So which has least first time? P0. So P0 will be scheduled here. Okay, so and now see P3 completely finished, it will be removed from the ready queue. So I have marked it in crossed right here. Okay, and then P0 is scheduled. Okay, now since it is non-preemptive, it will not see any other process in the ready queue. It will complete it. So P0 running time is 6 here, so it will run for 3 to 6, 9 units. So see here, it will run for 9 units. And now till this time, see, some other processes should have been arrived in the ready queue. Which processes will arrive? P4 will arrive at time 4, and at 5 time P1 will also arrive. So see now in ready queue, P4 will arrive first, and then P1 will arrive after this. Okay, now P0 is also completed. Okay, I have marked this in red in ready queue. Okay, now there are 3 processes, P2, P4, and P1. Now CPU will pick one process among these according to the least worst time. Okay, which process will be scheduled now? From P2, P4, and P1. See this. Okay, right. P2, P1, and P4. This P1 will be scheduled because it has least worst time, that is 2. So it will now schedule P1 for 2 units, that is 11. Okay. Now P1 will be finished. So I have also removed it from the ready queue. Now 2 processes are remaining here, P2 and P4. So P2 worst time is 8, P4 worst time is 8. So P4 will be scheduled now because it has least worst time. So P4 will be scheduled and it will run for 4 units, that is 15. Okay. Now it will also be finished. So see here in ready queue, it is also finished. Now only one process is in the ready queue. So CPU will select this process P2. here. Okay, now P2 will run for 8 units, that is 23. So you can see here, this is 23. So this is the Gantt chart for this SJ. Now you can calculate every parameters like waiting time, turnaround time, and completion time, response time, everything. Okay. So first of all, we have to calculate with this Gantt chart. Okay, we will calculate waiting time with this chart. Then we will calculate every other parameter with the help of a table. Okay. So just a second. Okay. See, this is the total waiting time here. Okay, for first process, what should be the waiting time? See, this is the P0 process. It has been arrived at time 2, and when it was scheduled at 3 time. So waiting time for this will be 3 minus 2. है ना, ऐसे होगा. Arrive कब हुई थी 2 पे, और schedule कब किया इसको हमने 3 पे. ठीक है, तो इसने 1 यूनिट वेट किया होगा, तो 3 minus 2 should be arrival time for process P0. तो see this one here. Okay, 3 minus 2 will be waiting time for process P0. Now see process P1, it was arrived at 5, okay, and it was scheduled at 9 time in the Gantt chart. Okay, so it has waited for 9 minus 5 units. See this one here, it has been written. Okay, 9 minus 5. After this P2, okay, P2 was arrived at 1, and it was scheduled at 15th time in the Gantt chart. So it has waited for 14 units. 15 minus 1. So see here, 15 minus 1 is the waiting time for process P2. Now P3 was arrived at 0, and as soon as it is arrived, it has been scheduled here. Okay, so waiting time for this process will be 0. Okay, it has not waited for any other process. So 0 minus 0, waiting time for this process will be 0. And next is P4. It arrived at 4 time, and it was scheduled in the CPU for 11 time. Okay, so 11 minus 4, that is 7. So these are the individual waiting time of every process from P0 to P4. Okay, what is the total? This is 26 here. Okay, and to find average waiting time, you will use this formula, and this is 26 divided by 5, which will be equal to 5.2. Okay, so total average waiting time for this scenario is 5.2 units. Okay, this is simple. This is a fixed scenario for a particular time. Okay, एक्चुअली में क्या होगा, आपकी जो प्रोसेसेस है वो अराइव होती रहती है रेडी क्यू में, है ना. ऐसा नहीं होगा कि इसके बाद कोई प्रोसेस अराइव नहीं होगी, इसके बाद भी प्रोसेसेस अराइव होती रहेंगी, लेकिन हमने किसी पर्टिकुलर टाइम पे एक स्नैपशॉट लिया है जिसके लिए हमें ये कैलकुलेट करना है. ठीक है, सो फॉर दिस पर्टिकुलर टाइम 5.2 यूनिट्स विल बी द एवरेज वेटिंग टाइम. नाउ वी विल सी अगेन दिस TAT and waiting time as well as response time. So I have written the formulas once again here. Okay, this will help you in calculating all this here. See, first is completion time. Okay, now you tell me what is the completion time of process P0? Reply fast. जल्दी से रिप्लाई करो. P0 का क्या होगा? 9. Okay, 9. Then P1 रिप्लाई करते ना जल्दी से. P1 के लिए completion time is
11.
11. Okay, then जल्दी से रिप्लाई करते रहो. 11 के बाद P2
23.
finished at 23. Okay, 23. Then P3 के लिए 3. Okay, then P4 के लिए 15 here. Okay.
15.
So this is the individual completion time of every process. Now let us see TAT. Okay, what is TAT? You have to minus this arrival time from completion time. Okay, so what will be the turnaround time for P0? 9 minus 2 will be equal to 7. Now reply for another processes. What will be the TAT for next P1?
6.
Okay, next
22.
22, then 3, okay, then 11. Okay, so this is the individual TAT for every process. Now we will calculate here VT, waiting time. This is what? This is TAT minus VT now. Okay, so this column will be this column will be split from this column. So for P0 it will be 1. Okay, 7 minus 6 equal to 1. See here, see here also we have calculated also 1. 3 minus 2 through Gantt chart, it was 3 minus 2, that is also equal to 1, and through this table 7 minus 6, this is also equal to 1. Now for next process P1, this is 6 minus 2, 4. And see also here 9 minus 5, this is also 4. Okay, so these are two different methods, but the output will be same for these two. 22 minus 8, which will be equal to 14. Here also 15 minus 1, 14. Here 3 minus 3 is 0, and also here 0 minus 0 is 0. 11 minus 4 here, okay, 7 here also 7. So in this way you can also calculate the waiting time of every process. Now this is the total completion time for all processes 61, and sum of TAT is 49, and sum of waiting time we have calculated here also 26. Okay, so now whatever is the question, you will be you can answer this. Okay, what is the average turnaround time? 49 by 5. Okay, that will be equal to 9.8 units. Okay, and similarly average completion time will be calculated 61 by 5. Okay, average waiting time will be calculated dividing this value by 5. Now the next is response time. Okay, what is response time? I have told you जब प्रोसेस को आपका फर्स्ट रिस्पांस मिलेगा सीपीयू के लिए. ओके, सो यू कैन से रिस्पांस टाइम इज द टाइम एट व्हिच प्रोसेस गेट्स सीपीयू फॉर फर्स्ट टाइम माइनस अराइवल टाइम. ओके, ऐसे होना चाहिए. प्रोसेस को सीपीयू कब मिला है? पहली बार, ठीक है, और उसमें से उसका अराइवल टाइम अगर माइनस करेंगे दैट विल बी इक्वल टू आरटी. ओके, नाउ सी फॉर प्रोसेस P0 इट वाज अराइव्ड एट 2 and it was first given response from the CPU at time 3. Okay, so 3 minus 2 will be equal to 1. So response time for process P0 will be 1, right? Similarly, for process P1, it was arrived at 5, okay, and it got first response at time 9. So 9 minus 5 will be equal to 4. Okay, so this is response time for process P1. Now you tell me what will be the response time for P2? Answer this one. 14. This is the right answer. It was okay, right? This arrived at arrival time 1, and it was scheduled at 15 times. So 15 minus 1 will be equal to 14. So this is the response time for P2. Similarly, for P3, it will be 0. Okay, as soon as it has arrived, it was scheduled. So it need not to wait. So it was 0 for response time. Response time for waiting process P3. For P4, tell me what will be the for P4?
7.
7. Okay, this is the right answer. Okay, so this is the response time for P4. Now in this table you can see waiting time and response time are same. Okay, and I also told you in the previous class मैंने आपको बताया था जितनी भी आपकी नॉन प्रीएम्प्टिव प्रोसेसेस हैं उनके लिए वेटिंग टाइम और रिस्पांस टाइम सेम रहेगा, क्योंकि जैसे वो कोई प्रोसेस है कि सीपीयू तो रिलीज नहीं करती कभी भी, ठीक है, तो एग्जीक्यूट करेंगी, ठीक है, तो हर एक प्रोसेस का रिस्पांस टाइम और वेटिंग टाइम सेम होगा. Okay, so note on this point, response time and waiting time are both same for non-preemptive scheduling algorithms. We will also see in next algorithms, this will be same for non-preemptive scheduling algorithm, okay? Like in priority algorithm, this will be same. So this is all about SGF. If you have any question, you can ask. Then we will go for its next version, SRTF. Okay? समझ आ गया सभी को?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so now let us go to next slide. That are, first of all, we will discuss advantages and disadvantages of SGF. Okay, so this is the first advantage. It gives optimal average waiting time. Okay, जो SGF है वो आपका जो वेटिंग टाइम है वो ऑप्टिमल होगा, बिकॉज इसमें क्या करते हैं आप, जिस प्रोसेस का वर्स्ट रनिंग टाइम लेस होगा उसको आप शेड्यूल करते हैं, ठीक है, तो जो लो टाइम वर्स्ट टाइम वाली प्रोसेसेस होंगी वो पहले शेड्यूल होंगी, इसलिए इसका जो एवरेज that will be optimal. So this is the first advantage. Second is it is useful for batch type processing where waiting for jobs to complete is not critical. ठीक है, देखो ऐसे बैच टाइप प्रोसेसिंग जहां पर आपका वेटिंग टाइम इतना मैटर नहीं करेगा, जैसे कि आपको कोई लार्ज बर्स्ट वाली प्रोसेस है वो कभी इसमें रन नहीं होगी, इतना क्रिटिकल नहीं होगा, है ना, तो बैच टाइप प्रोसेसिंग के लिए ये बेटर है. जो भी छोटी छोटी प्रोसेस है वो जल्दी फास्ट होंगी तो आउटपुट आपकी जल्दी आएगी, लेकिन जो लार्ज प्रोसेस है वो लास्ट में शेड्यूल होती रहे, कोई फर्क नहीं है उसका वेट करने के लिए. सो इन सच केसेस वैसी बैच टाइप प्रोसेसिंग SGF is better. So these are two advantages. Now see disadvantage. Okay, the first one is it suffers from starvation. Okay, what is starvation now? Okay, see in this case SGF, large burst time process, okay, will never get scheduled because of the low burst time processes. ठीक है, ये तो आपका पर्टिकुलर स्नैपशॉट था सिस्टम का, लेकिन अगर प्रोसेसेस कंटिन्यू आती रहे सिस्टम में, ठीक है, जो लो बर्स्ट टाइम वाली प्रोसेसेस हैं वो कंटिन्यू अराइव होती रहे, तो कभी भी जो आपकी लार्ज बर्स्ट टाइम वाली प्रोसेस है वो कभी भी शेड्यूल नहीं होगी। ओके, सो इन दिस केस यू कैन से दैट प्रोसेस विल सफर फ्रॉम स्टारवेशन। स्टारवेशन क्या होता है वैसे, क्या कहते हैं इसको, भूखमरी कहते हैं हिंदी में, है ना, ठीक है। मतलब आप रिसोर्स ना मिलने के वजह से अगर कोई प्रोसेस रन नहीं हो पाएगी, उस केस को क्या कहते हैं, स्टारवेशन। सो दिस इज डेफिनेशन ऑफ स्टारवेशन। इंडेफिनिट वेटिंग ऑफ ए प्रोसेस फॉर गेटिंग कंट्रोल ऑफ सीपीयू इज नोन एज स्टारवेशन, ठीक है। And it happens because a process with higher burst time wait indefinitely for CPU due to the processes with less burst time keep on arriving in the ready queue. Ready queue में जो less burst time वाली प्रोसेसेस हैं वही आती रहे अगर, तो high burst time वाली प्रोसेस से कभी भी शेड्यूल नहीं होगी। इसका मेजर डिसएडवांटेज है, याद रखना है ना, स्टारवेशन। So and next disadvantage is what? It may cause long turnaround time for some processes. Okay, we have seen in the previous example. Okay, for some processes turnaround time was too large. So these are the disadvantages. Next is see, worst time of process must be known by the CPU beforehand, and which is very hard to predict actually. Okay, हमने क्या किया, हम पहले क्या करते हैं, वर्स्ट टाइम लिख देते हैं हर एक प्रोसेस का, उसी के अकॉर्डिंगली शेड्यूल करते हैं। लेकिन ये इतना इजी टास्क नहीं होता हर एक प्रोसेस का रनिंग टाइम जानने के लिए, ठीक है। इसके लिए बहुत सी सिमुलेशन या ह्यूरिस्टिक मेथड यूज होते हैं, जो भी कभी 100% आपके करेक्ट नहीं बताएंगे कभी भी, है ना, कि रनिंग टाइम क्या होगा। सो इट इज हार्ड टू प्रेडिक्ट द वर्स्ट टाइम। वी कैन ओनली जस्ट मेक अप्रोक्सीमेशन ऑफ देयर वर्स्ट टाइम्स। सो these are the disadvantages of SGF. Now we will go to next slide. Okay, if you want to take screenshot, you can take the screenshot of this slide. Okay, now we will go to next scheduling algorithm, that is shortest remaining time first. Okay, and this is a preemptive version of SGF. So for SRTR, mode is preemptive and criteria is same, that is worst time. Every process will be scheduled according to their worst time. Okay, this is the definition. In SRTR, the process that has least running time remaining will be allocated CPU first. Okay, पिछले में क्या था, the process which have least running time will be allocated CPU, and in this case the process which will have least running time remaining, this is the important word here, remaining, जिस प्रोसेस का remain भी रहेगा उसी को हम allocate कर देंगे CPU, है ना, उससे हम means इसमें preemption होगी आपके पास अब, ठीक है। We will see this with the help of example. Just wait. Okay, see, this is the example. Okay, this example is okay, similar to the previous one. Okay, SGF में भी यही प्रोसेसेस थी, यही उनके अराइवल टाइम थे, यही बर्स्ट टाइम थे, ठीक है। इस केस में देखेंगे किस तरह क्या एवरेज वेटिंग टाइम आएगा और क्या रिस्पांस टाइम। Okay, so first of all, let us draw the Gantt chart now. Okay, now you will tell, okay, what will happen, for which process will schedule first.
P3.
P3.
Okay, right. Okay, from 0 to 3, P3 will be scheduled. Okay, see here, during 0 to 3, two more processes should have been arrived, that is P0 and P2. Okay, but since their running time is larger, okay, this see here, its running time is 6, its running time 8, and this worst time is greater than 3. Okay, so this process will not be preempted, this will continue its execution. Okay, so it will completely execute till time 3. Okay, now process P2 and P0 has been arrived. Now which process will be scheduled?
P0.
Okay, P0 will be scheduled. So see here, P0 has been scheduled, but now see, जैसे इसका जैसे ये फर्स्ट टाइम पे पहुंची, यहाँ पर देखो सिस्टम में एक और प्रोसेस अराइव हुई है P4. See here, at time 4 a process P4 will also arrive, and its first time is now 4. Okay, and worst time of P0 is now 5 because it has been executed for 1 unit here. Okay, so its remaining worst time will be 5. Okay, P1 भी arrive हुई, sorry, P2 भी arrive हुई थी, इसका 8 है और P4 का 4 है. So which has the least worst time now? P4. इसका 4 है, यहाँ पर 8 है और यहाँ पर 5 है. So which process will be scheduled now?
P4.
P4. Okay, P0 will be preempted, and you can also see here, this is the remaining time for P0. Okay, and also P3 was finished. I have marked it in red color. Now P4 has been scheduled. Okay, so P4 has been scheduled, and now see, जैसे इसने एक यूनिट कंप्लीट की अपनी 5, ठीक है, एक और प्रोसेस 5 टाइम पे अराइव होगी, दैट इज P1. See here, arrival time of P1 is 5. Okay, and now CP will also check its worst time. Okay, it is 2. Okay, so now all the processes has been arrived in the system. P0, P1, P2, and P4 has been arrived in the ready queue. P3 was finished. Okay, so among these, which has the least running time now? P0, P1, P2, and P4 का जो least running time है वो किसका है?
P1.
P1 का. Okay, so now it will be given chance to execute. So now I have marked also here P4 was run for 1 unit, so its remaining time is now 3. Okay, here now see here P1 is scheduled. Okay, as you told me, P1 will be scheduled for 2 units. Okay, this is the least worst time, so it will be completed now. Okay, it will be finished. So see here P1 is also finished now. Okay, so P1 और P3 जो हमारी अब कंप्लीट हो चुकी हैं. अब आपके पास बचती है P0, P2 एंड P4. ठीक है, तो किसका लिस्ट है?
P4.
P4 का. Okay, so now it will be scheduled here. Okay, see here P4 is scheduled. Okay, देखो जैसे सारी प्रोसेसेस सिस्टम में आ जाती हैं, इसके बाद जो SRTF है आपका, वो भी क्या बन जाता है आपके पास? SGFE. Okay, as soon as every process is arrived in the system, okay, the SRTF tends to be SGF. Now see, according to their worst time, they will be scheduled. P4 will be scheduled now because its worst time is least here 3. Okay, so this is also finished here. Now 2 processes are remaining, P0 and P2. So P0 has less worst time, so it will be scheduled now. See here, P0 is scheduled for 5 units. So this is 15 here. Okay. So after this, P0 will be also finished. Now only one process is in the ready queue, that is P2. Okay, and P2 will schedule now after at last. Okay, so this will run for 8 units, 23. Okay, so this is the Gantt chart for SRTF. Okay, जो हमने पहले किया SGF उसमें थोड़ा चेंज है अब इसमें, है ना? ठीक है, समझ आया सभी को या नहीं? पहले बताओ, उसके बाद हम कैलकुलेट करते हैं. बताओ जल्दी से, है ना? कोई क्वेश्चन हो किसी का, यू कैन आस्क एनी टाइम. रिप्लाई करो. आगे समझ सभी को?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, so now calculate waiting time. ठीक है, देखो इसमें कैलकुलेट वेटिंग टाइम गैंट चार्ट के थ्रू किस तरह से कैलकुलेट करेंगे. ठीक है, थोड़ा सा कॉम्प्लेक्स रहता है इसमें, है ना? फर्स्ट टाइम C for process P0. Okay, P0 was arrived at time 2, right? It was scheduled at time 3 as well as it was scheduled at time 10 here. Okay, so from the time of submission to it was given first response at time 3. So it has waited for how many units? 3 minus 2. Okay, so see here 3 minus 2 for P0, it has waited here, and also when process P4, P1 and P4 again was running, the process P0 has again waited. Okay, so you have to subtract 10 minus 4. This is the waiting time for P0 also. So 10 minus 4 will be also the waiting time for P0. So see here 10 minus 4. This is the total waiting time for process P0. Got it? No? Okay. So now C for process P1, it was arrived at time 5. Okay, and as soon as it is arrived, it was scheduled here. Okay, and it was completed. It was completely executed 5 to 7. Okay, because it has the least worst time in the system, so it was completely finished. So waiting time for this process is 5 minus 5, that is written here 0. So okay, so this is waiting time for process P1. Now C process P2, it was arrived at time unit 1. Okay, and it was scheduled at 15. Okay, it is not scheduled anywhere before this. Okay, so 15 minus 1, that is equal to 14. Okay, this is for P2. Now C for process P3, it was arrived at time 0 and it was scheduled at, sorry, it was scheduled at 0. Okay, right here. Okay, it was scheduled at 0, so 0 minus 0. Okay, so waiting time for process P3 is also 0 here. Okay. Now see process P4, it was arrived at time 4, and it was first scheduled at 4 unit as soon as it was arrived. So 4 minus 4, it is written here, it is 0, and then it was again rescheduled at time unit 7. Okay, and before this P1 was run for 2 units, 5 to 7. So waiting time for this is also 7 minus 5. This is written here. Okay, it has waited for 2 units also. So this is the total waiting time for individual process, and if you sum all of these, the sum will be 23. Okay, and average waiting time will be 23 by 5, which will be equal to 4.6 units. Okay, it is lesser than the SGF. Okay, SGF में आपका 5 point something था. SRTF के case में average waiting time is more optimal than SGF. Okay, so this is 4.6 units. Okay, now let us draw it with the help of table. Okay, this is the easiest one. Completion time of every process will be written here. See carefully. When you will write completion time, you have to scan this Gantt chart from the right side. Okay, otherwise you will make some mistake. जैसे completion time P0 के लिए क्या है, आप यहाँ से अगर लेफ्ट साइड से देखेंगे तो यहाँ पर 4 लिख देंगे, वहां पर गलती से है ना, ठीक है. तब तो जब भी आपने Gantt chart को स्कैन करना है, आपने राइट हैंड साइड से करना है. So for process P0, completion time is 15. Okay, now for process P1 it is 7. Okay, for process P2 it is 23. For process P3 it is 3. See here, and for process P4 see it is 10 here. Okay, so these are the completion time of individual process. Now we will see TAT, that is equal to CT minus AT. Okay, reply what will be the value of first process P0. बताओ जल्दी से क्या होगी.
13.
13. Okay, then
2,
2, 22,
3,
right?
6.
So this is the TAT for individual process. Now we will see waiting time. This is TAT minus VT. Okay, will be 7.
0.
Then 0. Okay,
14,
then 14. Okay,
0,
0, and then 2. Okay. So see in this table, these values are also similar to here. Okay, here also 7, 0, 14, 0, 2. Okay, these values were calculated using Gantt chart, and these values are calculated using this table. These are same. Okay, these are the individual sum of these are the total sum of every parameter now here. Okay, you can find average by dividing this with 5, every value. Now see, this is the response time. Okay. Now tell me what will be the response time for process P0. No, this is not 2. It has been arrived at time 2. Okay, and
1.
it was given, yes, this is right answer. It was given first response from the CPU at time 3. So 3 minus 2, 1. Okay, have you got it? Okay, now tell me what will be it for process P1.
0.
Yes, this is the right answer. P1 was given first response at 5 and it was arrived at 5. So 5 minus 5, 0. For P2, okay, first response, see in this chart, first response has been given at time 15.
14.
Okay,
14.
so 15 minus 1, 14, right? For P3, okay, first
0.
response is here, 0. For P4, again, 4 minus 4, 0. Okay,
3.
so see here, the maximum times response time is very less here. Okay, for P3, P4, and P1 it is 0, and for P0 it is 1. Only it is larger for that process which has the largest burst time. Okay, so this is the disadvantage of SRTF. The process which will have the largest burst time will suffer from the bad response time. See here, 14 is only for P2 here. Okay, every other process has a 0 or 1 response time. So I have told you earlier in this slide, this is disadvantage of SRTF, bad response time for some processes. So Also, turnaround time is also increased here. Okay, see, turnaround time for process P2 is also largest among all. So that process will suffer from bad turnaround time as well as much response time, which has large burst time in SRTF. Okay, so this is all about SRTF. Okay, you can take screenshot of this. Just a bit. You can take screenshot of this. You can also try in your notebook after this class. Okay, and if you have any questions, you can ask now. Okay, then we will go for the next slide. Okay, we will see only advantages and disadvantages because the time is over now. After this, round robin will be taken in the next class. Okay, so let's go to the next slide first. Okay, advantages of SRTF. First of all, let us see it. Okay, this is advantage. It optimal and guarantees minimum average waiting time. जितने भी एल्गोरिथम्स आप पढ़ोगे सबसे मिनिमम एवरेज टाइम की गारंटी कौन देगा? SRTF. ठीक है, SGF से भी ज्यादा मिनिमम एवरेज वेटिंग टाइम होगा, है ना. अभी हमने कैलकुलेट किया था 4 पॉइंट समथिंग था इसमें SRTF में, और SGF में 5 पॉइंट समथिंग. सो इट विल गारंटी minimum average waiting time among all algorithms. Now this is advantage. Then now see disadvantage. It will also suffer from starvation. Okay, we have discussed what is starvation. We will not discuss it again. And now this is the second. It may cause long turnaround time for some processes. Or okay, which kind of processes which have large running time or large burst time. Okay, we have also seen this in previous slide. It will suffer from long turnaround time for some processes. Next is it may cause poor response time for process having larger burst time. Okay, I have discussed this in previous slide. Okay, so this is third disadvantage. Okay, this is the fourth disadvantage. Okay, this is similar to the SGF. Okay, burst time should be known before you run this. Okay, and this is very hard to predict for guessing burst time of every process. Okay, so in practically this SRTF is very hard to implement. Okay, because we never know the actual burst time of every process, so it is very hard to implement this as SRTF. Okay, we implement this as SRTF using some approximation methods. Okay, which is out of scope of this syllabus now in your operating system. Okay, we will not discuss those methods, but it is very hard to implement practically SRTF. Okay, but it sets a standard for every other algorithm because it gives you the minimum average waiting time. So this is also one advantage of SRTF. It sets a standard for every other algorithm. Okay, so this is all for today. Okay, next time we will see round robin. Okay, let me stop the recording now. Okay. Now, if you have any questions, you can ask. Okay.